Yo, Carlo here. Welcome to the vlog. Guys, good news. Kakasabi ko lang sa inyo na we recently got back into sneakers and shoes, right? And we have a package from VANS. So, di ba nakakatuwa? Kakasabi ko lang, kakabalik ko lang dito sa sneakers and then this awesome company, VANS, decides to send us shoes. So, tingnan natin what's inside. Buksan natin siya. And then, yeah, I'll bring you guys along for the rest of my day. It's Friday. It is sunny. It's a beautiful day. Can't wait to get out. But first, let's unbox some shoes. The new Skool VANS. Tinatakpan ko kasi yung pangalan ko tsaka address ko nandyan. So, yan, nabuksan ko na. Inside the box, we have one pair of sneakers. Yan, oh. Tingnan natin, buksan natin yan. Pero ano pa ba laman ito? We have stickers. VANS off the wall. Uy, nakakatuwa. Nakuha nila size ko, size 13. Usually kasi si VANS is just size 12. So, this is the new Skool in navy through white, size 13. Buksan na natin siya. Woo! Sweet! Guwapo! Ang linis niya, oh. Here we have it, guys. This is the VANS new Skool. Some things that immediately caught my attention. Unang-una sa lahat, ang ganda ng pagkagawa ng upper. There is a mix of different layers of suede. And then you have that three-dimensional logo ng VANS. Kasi usually nakadikit lang yan and manipis. Ito, kung titingnan ninyo, pero medyo 3D na siya, yo. Para nakita nyo angat, di ba? Para talaga siyang wave that's attached to the side of the sneaker. It's also a bit chunkier than the usual. The lining is also kind of thicker compared to your typical VANS, which makes me hope that this is more comfortable than your traditional VANS New Skool or Old Skool. Old Skool pa rin. And then, yeah, mas wide foot friendly na rin siya, hopefully. You still have that very familiar outsole, and let's make this our sneaker of the day. Again, if you guys are looking for this, make sure to check out VANS. I'll link down below to their IG and Facebook. Thank you, VANS Philippines. Super appreciate it. Excited to wear this for today as my sneakers of the day. Teka, hindi ko ito napansin kanina. Kapal nung tongue. Nakakatawa. Tingnan niyo. That's the tongue tab right there. It is so thick. What? You know, pillowy soft, pero ang kapal. Insole also. Excited na ako sa to. Ngayon, habang linilace up ko siya, by the way, konting kwento. So, I'm playing a new card game called Flesh and Blood. And I played yesterday sa SM Mega Mall, Neutral Grounds, for their Armory session. So, parang times 3 XP, better prizes, all that good stuff. I just want to share, nanalo ako. I won 4 games out of 4. 4-0 po tayo. So, sobrang nakakatuwa. And I won the cold foil flail, which is like I think supposed to be the weapon of the next character that's going to be revealed. Anyway, yung point ko lang, sinishare ko lang sa inyo, nanalo po tayo 4-0 Flesh and Blood. Shout out to Neutral Ground, shout out to L Legend Studio something, o LLS even, LSS. Basta gumawa ng Flesh and Blood, super nice game. Check it out. Yo, so nandito tayo sa morning of the commencement speech. So I'm getting ready. Actually, paalis na ako. But before we head over to UP to give the speech, kasi mamaya pa yun ng mga 4 o'clock. It's just 10 a.m. May tournament. Siyempre talaga maglalaro ko ng tournament. May tournament ng Flesh and Blood sa UP Town Center sa Dragon Forge. So I'll head over there to play. Hopefully win or at least win a few games. And then from there, we'll have lunch, get ready, and then head on over to the speech. I have someone with me to cover or at least to record part of it. So you guys can get to hear also what I plan on saying during the speech for the commencement ceremony. So exciting, exciting, exciting. My first ever time to deliver a speech as big as this. So anyway, so what do I want to talk to you guys about today? Very simply, I was trying to figure out what it is that I wanted to share with you guys. And I chanced upon an article a couple of weeks ago that really struck me in a very strong way. The article said that there was a study saying that there were 8 out of 10 Filipinos didn't have a dream. When they were asked by people, ano yung pangarap mo sa buhay? What do you want to become? What is it that you want to do? They didn't have a definitive answer. So I want you to take a few seconds now. I'm talking to you guys, the 50, tama ba, madam? 55 young women and gentlemen here in front of me to pause and ask yourself the question now. Ano ba pangarap mo sa buhay? What are your dreams? What is it that you want to do? It's okay if you don't have an answer yet. Pero you have to start asking yourself that question. And that's super important, primarily because I reached a point in my life wherein parang umabot ako sa dulo nang wala pa akong pangarap and wala pa akong dreams. Which lets me tell you this story. It was in 2006, we were in an internet cafe. Uso pa internet cafe nun? Uso pa internet cafe ngayon? Hindi na yata, no? So we were in an internet cafe, and I don't know if you guys know, pero yung mga internet cafe dati, puro posters kasi yung labas. So people cannot see what's happening inside. And in that internet cafe, my wife and I were there. We were still girlfriend, boyfriend back then. We were unfortunate because pinasok siya tas hinold up. So there were people who came inside, not the nice kind of people. Some of the people that you might hopefully do not encounter when you guys after this graduation and you guys go to work, go to college and stuff like that. And to make a long story short, one of the people who went inside put a gun behind the back of the head of my lovely girlfriend back then. I will tell you now, it is not bravery. It is sheer instinct for a man to defend someone who he loves. And at the same time, I was able to cross out a geek dream of mine, something that I've always wanted to do. Kinuha ko yung keyboard, tapos sinampas ko sa mukha yung guy na nakatutok yung baril sa likod ng ulo ng misis ko. Unfortunately, seeing as siguro nakita nila na ako pala yung pinakamalaking target, at pag ako yung tutukan nila at barilin, hindi sila magmi-miss. Diba? Sabi nila, uy, siguro yun yung babarilin ko. So, unfortunately, I took 2-3 gunshots back then. It went through dito sa gilid. Some of the bullets went through my lungs, and I literally passed out. And I was in and out of consciousness. And those 10 seconds of my life literally molded me to who I am today. It was those 10 seconds. It was those 10 seconds na I kind of felt what it was like to be at the end, without necessarily being at the end kagad. And what happened? It was 10 seconds of regret. 10 seconds of shocks. I would have wanted to do this. Sayang, nagawa ko sana to. Sana nabigay ko yung buhay na gusto ko ibigay sa girlfriend ko back then. Sana nakaipon ako, nakatayo ako, nakabili ako ng bahay, nakabili ako ng kotse. Sana I was able to live out my dreams. Nakita ko na nga yung ilaw nun eh. Feeling ko, tinatawag na ako ni Jesus. Pero alam niyo, just like any other mother, bigla na lang narinig ko, sobrang lakas na boses. It was my mom. As in, sumigaw siya, Carlo, gumising ka, tapos sinampal niya ako. As in, nagising na lang ako, for some miraculous, I don't know how they were able to do it. Imagine nyo, ang laki ko to binuhat nila ako. Nabuhat nila ako from the grounded way to the van, and they were bringing me pala to the hospital na. And my mom was the one who slapped me so hard in the face that I said goodbye to Jesus and went back to the world. So I woke up, I was in the car, I was bloody, dizzy. We went to 2 hospitals. The story actually doesn't end there. We ended up going to a government hospital, and to those who have been to government hospitals in the early 2000s, you can probably relate when I say that it is not the best healthcare in the country. To make a long story short, na-operahan ako po ako ng walang anesthesia. They opened my side, put a tube, drained the fluid from my lungs, all without anesthesia. And when my aunt, who's now actually in government, si Susan Ople, tinanong niya yung doktor, sabi niya, Doc, wala ba kayo anesthesia? Alam niyo sabi ng doktor? May dala po ba kayo, ma'am? Grabe, no? Grabe talaga yung back then. So anyway, obviously I survived. I'm here, and ever since that moment, I made a promise to myself na I would want to have my last 10 seconds in a very different way. Na ang pangako ko sa sarili ko is when that happens again, I want to look back with fondness. I want to look back with gratitude. And I want to look back with thankfulness and appreciation for what life has been. In short, gusto ko, pag dumating ako sa punto na last 10 seconds ko na ulit, pwede ko sabihin, busog na busog ako sa buhay. I lived my best, I lived well, and I lived happily. And that was something that I promised myself back then. And that's why I think it is super important for you guys to ask yourselves the questions, ano ba yung mga pangarap ninyo sa buhay? What it is that you want to accomplish? Because your next 4 or 5 years in college will be very critical, important in molding you and setting yourself up for what that dream is. So as early as now, think about it, spend some time figuring it out, researching, introspecting,
and really looking deep into yourselves on what it is that you guys want to do. One way to figure out what your passions are in life is to very simply look back, close your eyes, and list down all the highest moments in your life. You'll be surprised. Yung mga pinakamasasaya kayo, minsan lumalabas dyan, cooking, dancing, singing, playing Dota, pagbili ng sapatos, kunwari tumitingin at gusto kong maging YouTuber, yung mga gano'n, di ba? Yun yung mga sa tingin ninyo akala nyo not super fun, but those are actually high points that that can actually turn out to be careers later on, no, when you guys move on after graduation. Now, how was I able to apply my pursuit of my dreams? Just very quickly, my entire career has been predicated on the fact that I wanted to pursue stuff that was fulfilling. So I worked in a gaming company because I was a gamer. I worked in advertising because I really loved advertising. I worked in a TV network because I fell in love with content. I worked at a telco primarily because it was an itch that I wanted to scratch ever since I was young. And I was able to put up several businesses along the side. I put up a technology blog. It allowed me to see the world. I traveled the world because of that website. I was able to go to Barcelona, San Francisco, Indonesia, India with a tech media badge. I was able to meet Mark Zuckerberg, Sheryl Sandberg, Sundar Pichai, the CEO of Google, all because of a tech website that I started in 2012. I think it was in 2017, 2018, I was already the Vice President for Marketing for PLDT. And I fell in love with sneakers all over again. So that's when, despite having a full-time job, managing like 200 people, I decided to put up a YouTube channel to unbox sneakers and to talk about shoes. But it was so much fun. I mean, I can't be, every time I would go home, it didn't feel like work because I was so excited to do it. And I was able to transform that following and that platform into the different businesses that I'm fortunate to have today. So yun yung parang what has been my life so far. And I'm not stopping there. I have so many more dreams. There's so many things I want to do. I want to travel the world more with my wife. I want to see as much of this planet as I can, to meet as many people as possible, and to just live as much as I can before my next last 10 seconds come. No? And that's something that I hope and wish that you guys are able to figure out. Now, one thing that I get asked is, Carlo, kung hindi ko pa alam what my dreams are, what are the things that I should do to be able to figure it out? Baka can you give us some tips, no? So I'll give you just 3 things that you might want to consider. Number 1, you guys have to look for a legit role model. And when I say legit, as in all caps, legit role model. Not just some influencer on Instagram that looks nice, looks pretty, or looks whatever. As in someone who really can be someone that you can look up to. I was fortunate when I was young. It was my grandfather. My grandfather was the late Senator Blas F. Ople. So when I grew up, I was fortunate to have him. I looked up to him. He spent his time to teach me. He spent time with me talking about current events, talked about politics, talked about, imagine ito, high school pa lang ako, talked about international law. Naalala ko nga, we were joking, my cousins and I, na he had this, parang school for the next generation of politicians. Kasi it was him na pinilit kami matuto mag-ballroom dancing. Alam niyo bakit? Kasi kami yung pinapasayaw sa mga asawa ng mga congressman. So it's a secret skill that I still have until today. But anyway, so look for a role model. Look for someone that you can look up to, that can give you guys motivation, inspiration, someone who has had a history of success, someone who has made a difference, made an impact, and take a look at what they've been doing. For me, it was my grandfather back then. Eventually, it became different entrepreneurs and businessmen. It became Gary Vaynerchuk, who's such a big influence on me. Met him when I went to the US. It became Manny Pangilinan when I worked in PLDT. I was fortunate enough to work very closely with Boss MVP, and the moments that we would have where he would teach me so many things about business, about fundraising, about managing a P&L, just witnessing his work ethic and how he does things is something that's super inspiring. And again, those are things that I got because I was looking up to people. And that inspired me to keep on dreaming and thinking of new things. Second is for you to be able to try as many things as possible. Your next stage in life is going to be your most fun. Kasi your next stage is where you will make the most number of mistakes that you will ever make. Which is a good thing. Some people kasi keep on saying that mistakes and failure is super frowned upon, and that's bad. But as long as you learn the lessons and you keep on adapting and course correcting it's always a good thing. In the sneaker world, we call it turn your L's, your losses, into lessons. Diba? Something that, so that it will never always be a bad thing for you. So that's something that you should always try. No? Especially for your generation, because like what it was mentioned earlier, your generation will be the AI generation. Your generation will be super immersed in e-commerce, analytics, big data. Your generation will be figuring out how to properly use, both ethically and professionally, artificial intelligence. ChatGPT is a big thing. It can be revolutionary if used properly. In fact, one of the designers, or the design company that I worked with, or that I invested in, uses artificial intelligence to rapid prototype designs for the apparel that they make. So again, if used properly, it can be a big game changer. And that's something that your generation will have to figure out and have to maximize. So like what I mentioned earlier, experiment, try new things, and see what are the things that you can really take advantage of. And third, and most importantly, when it comes to pursuing and creating dreams, is that you need to surround yourself with people who will speak life to you. Ano ibig sabihin nun? Unang-una sa lahat, when you guys build your circle of friends, when you guys build your network through the years, as much as possible, edit it. What do you mean by edit it? Kung yung mga taong around you, ang sinasabi lang sa inyo, hindi mo kaya yan, huwag mong gawin yan, hindi ka magaling, iwanan nyo na sila. Because those are the type of people who will just drag you down. You need people in your lives that will tell you, kaya mo yan. Ano pang inaantay mo? Gawin mo na. Those are the people that can really make a difference. Because it's that type of positive encouragement, it's that type of positive reinforcement that will really take you to the next level. If the first moment, most definitive moment of my life was those 10 seconds that I was there na binalik ako ng nanay ko sa sampal niya to this world, the next definitive moment was when my grandfather sat me down and probably talked to me. I forgot now what year this was. And he just told me, Carlo, one day you'll be great. One day you'll be successful. Those words stuck to me, and those are the words that I still hear today, even if wala na siya sa akin. Wala na siya dito. And I know that not everyone is blessed to have someone like that in their lives. I know that maybe not all of you have someone that can tell you that. So siguro for this moment, baka this is the time that we do that. So to every single one of you, 55 dito, gusto kong malaman ninyo na I believe in you. Na I really think that you guys can be successful. Na kayo ang magiging susunod manager, president, CEO, kayo ang magiging susunod na super stellar tech startup founder, kayo ang mga magiging susunod na panalong streamer, kayo ang magiging sobrang crazy tinitingalaan na influencer tsaka YouTuber, kayo magiging next voices, kayo magiging next reporters, kayo mga magiging next anchors, kayo magiging future of what this country has. And let me be not just the first, but I'm sure every single parent in this room and every single faculty member will join me in saying to every single 55 of you, kaya nyo yan. And we believe in you. And you guys will kick ass. Promise. I wish you all the best, and I hope you all realize your dreams. Thank you, and good luck.